This message isn't for everyone. It's for those who feel a quiet stirring deep within their spirit, a restlessness that whispers they were meant for more. If you're here, reading these words, it's not by accident. You were brought here for a reason. You've been chosen. And being chosen comes with both an extraordinary purpose and a profound responsibility. Think about your life for a moment. Have you ever felt like the battles you face are more intense? The challenge is heavier than what others seem to endure? It's because your life is set apart. You weren't called to an easy path, but to a significant one. Those struggles aren't meant to break you. They're meant to build you. They're preparing you for a mission that only you can fulfill. Being chosen doesn't mean life will be without hardship. In fact, it often means the opposite. It means the road will be steeper, the burdens heavier, and the doubts louder. But it also means you carry within you a strength that cannot be defeated. A strength planted by the Creator, designed to rise above every obstacle. You are not here by chance. You were chosen to be a light, a force of change, and a testimony of what faith, perseverance, and purpose can achieve. Take a moment to reflect. How many times have you felt like giving up? How many times have you questioned, why me? The answer is simple: because you are capable. Because you have a resilience that refuses to be extinguished. The enemy knows the potential you carry, and that's why the battles are fiercer. He wants to keep you from realizing your power, from stepping into the fullness of your destiny. But here's the truth: you are not fighting alone. You were never meant to face these struggles in isolation. Divine alignment means that every step you take is guided. Every challenge is shaping you, and every victory is waiting on the other side of your faith. God has equipped you with everything you need to overcome. Imagine putting on an armor, an unshakable, radiant protection that not only shields you, but reflects divine light, so brilliant that every doubt, fear, and attack trembles in its presence. This is your moment to stand tall, to declare to the world and to yourself that you are ready to walk boldly in your purpose. The struggles you've endured have not been wasted. They have been the foundation, the refining fire that has prepared you for what lies ahead. You were chosen not because the path would be easy, but because the result would be extraordinary. Today, make the decision to embrace your calling. Step forward with unwavering faith, knowing that you are divinely protected, profoundly loved, and destined for greatness. You are chosen, and the world is waiting to see the light that only you can bring. Have you ever looked at the trials in your life and wondered, why me? The challenges, the heartbreaks, the relentless battles. Why do they seem heavier for you than for others? It's a question that echoes in the hearts of those who carry a higher purpose. Let me assure you, those struggles are not a punishment. They are a preparation. Every difficulty you've faced is shaping you into the person you're destined to become, equipped to fulfill a purpose only you can achieve. Challenges are not signs of weakness. They are indicators of strength. The trials you face aren't there to break you, but to reveal the resilience and power that lie within you. Think about it. Diamonds are formed under pressure, and steel is forged in fire. The same is true for your spirit. Every tear you've shed, every sleepless night you've endured, and every obstacle you've overcome has been part of a refining process. The battles you fight are preparing you to shine brighter, to stand taller, and to fulfill a destiny that is uniquely yours. Now, let's shift your perspective. Instead of seeing challenges as barriers, see them as stepping stones. Each struggle you've faced has taught you something. Even if it wasn't obvious at the time, perhaps it taught you resilience, showed you how to adapt, or revealed the strength you didn't know you had. Those lessons are not wasted. They are tools you'll use to overcome future obstacles and achieve your dreams. Take a moment to reflect on your journey. How many times did you feel like giving up, only to find the strength to keep going? How many times did you face a situation that seemed impossible, only to come out stronger on the other side? Those moments weren't coincidences. They were proof of your capability and a reminder that you are never alone in your battles. Being chosen for a higher purpose means the path is often harder. The enemy knows the potential you carry, and he fights fiercely to keep you from realizing it. That's why the attacks feel personal, why the doubts creep in, and why the weight of the world can feel overwhelming. But here's the truth. The enemy wouldn't bother attacking you if you weren't a threat. The fact that you face such challenges is proof that you are destined for something extraordinary. In the midst of these trials, it's easy to question your worth, to wonder if you have what it takes. But let me remind you, you were created for this. You were designed with everything you need to overcome. God doesn't call the equipped, He equips the called. You may not feel ready, but the very act of facing your challenges is proof that you are being prepared. Every obstacle is an opportunity to grow, to learn, and to step closer to your purpose. But how do you overcome when the weight feels unbearable? It starts with faith. Faith in yourself, faith in your journey, and faith in the one who is guiding you. When the doubts come, remind yourself of the battles you've already won. When fear creeps in, declare that you are stronger than anything life throws your way. Faith doesn't mean the path will be easy, but it does mean you won't walk it alone. Next, embrace the power of perspective. Challenges feel overwhelming when we focus solely on the pain or difficulty. But when you step back and view them through the lens of purpose, everything changes. That hardship isn't just a random event, it's a building block. It's shaping you, strengthening you, and aligning you with your destiny. When you see challenges as part of your story rather than obstacles to your success, they lose their power to hold you back. And finally, remember the importance of community. You don't have to face your battles alone. There are people around you who want to support you, encourage you, and remind you of your strength when you forget it yourself. Whether it's a trusted friend, a mentor, or your faith community, lean on those who uplift you. Together, you can face any challenge and emerge victorious. Every great achievement is born from struggle. Think of the heroes you admire. Their paths were not smooth. Their journeys were not easy, but they persevered. And so can you. The challenges you face today are setting the stage for the victories you'll celebrate tomorrow. The enemy tries to use struggles to defeat you, but when you choose to rise above them, you transform those struggles into stepping stones toward your destiny. You are not called to live an ordinary life. The weight of your challenges reflects the greatness of your purpose. And while the path may be steep, the view from the top is worth every step. Keep climbing, keep believing, and keep moving forward. Your challenges are not the end of your story. They are the beginning of something extraordinary. Today, make a choice. Choose to see your struggles as part of a greater plan. Choose to believe in the strength within you. Choose to rise, not in spite of your challenges, but because of them. You are stronger than you know, braver than you feel, and more capable than you realize. The world is waiting to see what happens when you step into your purpose with courage and determination. The battle may be fierce, but victory is certain. You are chosen, and you are unstoppable. Keep going. Your story is far from over, and the best is yet to come. Life often feels like a battlefield, doesn't it? Challenges strike from all directions. Doubts creep in when you least expect them, and the enemy's arrows of fear, anxiety, and discouragement seem relentless. But here's the truth. You are not defenseless. God has equipped you with a divine armor, a powerful protection designed not just to shield you, but to empower you to stand firm and overcome. Today, let's dive into the significance of this armor and how it can transform the way you face life's battles. Imagine yourself in the middle of a war. The battlefield is chaotic, and enemies approach from every side. Without the right protection, every step feels uncertain, every move a gamble. But now picture yourself covered in radiant armor, a divine gift that not only protects you, but reflects a light so brilliant that it intimidates the opposition. This armor is not just symbolic, it's a spiritual reality. It's tailored to you, designed to guard your heart, shield your mind, and strengthen your resolve. The first piece of this armor is the belt of truth. Why start with a belt? It may seem insignificant compared to a shield or sword, but the belt holds everything together. Without it, the armor falls apart. The same is true in life. Truth is your foundation. The enemy's favorite tactic is deception. planting seeds of doubt, fear, and lies. He whispers, "You're not enough, you're forgotten, or you can't succeed." But the truth, the eternal, unchanging truth from God, says otherwise. The truth is that you are loved, chosen, and created for a purpose. When you tighten the belt of truth around your life, you declare, "I know who I am, and I know whose I am." This truth doesn't waver with circumstances or emotions. It's your anchor, ensuring that you stand firm no matter what comes your way. Next is the breastplate of righteousness, which protects your heart, the core of your emotions and faith. The enemy knows that if he can wound your heart with guilt, shame, or fear, he can immobilize you. His arrows are designed to make you feel unworthy, to make you question whether God could truly love and accept you. But here's the truth. Your righteousness isn't based on your actions. It's not about how perfect you've been or the mistakes you've made. It's about what Jesus has already done. When you wear this breastplate, you are clothed in Christ's righteousness, a righteousness that cannot be pierced by the enemy's lies. You can boldly declare, "I am forgiven, loved, and accepted, not because of who I am, but because of who He is." With this breastplate, you can move forward with confidence, knowing your heart is guarded and your worth is secure. The shoes of peace are what enable you to move forward. Without them, every step feels painful and unstable. These shoes aren't ordinary. They represent the peace of God, a peace that surpasses all understanding. This peace is not tied to your circumstances. It's the unshakable certainty that no matter what happens, God is in control. In life's most chaotic moments, it's the shoes of peace that keep you grounded. They allow you to walk confidently into the unknown, trusting that each step is guided by divine purpose. With these shoes, you can face the rocky terrain of challenges and the thorns of doubt without hesitation, knowing that God's peace is your firm foundation. The shield of faith is your defense against the fiery arrows of the enemy. These arrows come in the form of fear, doubt, and despair, aiming to break your trust in God's promises. But faith is your greatest defense. It extinguishes those flames before they can take root. Faith is not just a passive belief. It's an active choice. Every time you lift your shield, you declare, "I trust God's plan, even when I don't see the full picture." When fear whispers, "What if you fail?" you raise your shield and respond, "God is my refuge and strength." When doubt says, "You can't handle this," you counter with, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." Faith transforms fear into courage and doubt into confidence. The helmet of salvation protects your mind, where the enemy often strikes first. He tries to fill your thoughts with confusion, worry, and despair, hoping to derail you before you even begin. But the helmet reminds you of who you are and whose you are. Your salvation is not fragile or temporary. It's eternal and unshakable. When you wear this helmet, you guard your thoughts with the assurance that nothing, not fear, not failure, not even your past, can separate you from God's love. You can walk through life with clarity and confidence, knowing your identity is rooted in Him. The sword of the Spirit is the Word of God, the only offensive weapon in this armor. It's not just a shield to defend, it's a sword to advance. The enemy cannot stand against the truth of God's Word. When doubt tries to take hold, you wield your sword and declare, "It is written." When fear creeps in, you counter with, "God has not given me a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind." The Word of God is alive and powerful, sharper than any double-edged sword. It equips you not just to endure battles, but to claim victory over them. Finally, prayer is what activates the armor. It's your direct connection to God's strength and guidance. Without prayer, the armor remains dormant. But when you pray, you invite God to move on your behalf, to intervene in your circumstances, and to fight alongside you. Prayer is not just a defense, it's a weapon. It releases God's power into your life, turning impossible situations into testimonies of His greatness. When you pray, You align yourself with His will and draw strength from His presence. With God's armor, you are fully equipped to face whatever comes your way. Stand firm, lift your shield, wield your sword, and step boldly into the purpose you were created for. The battle may be fierce, but victory is yours. You are not alone, and you are more powerful than you know. Faith and prayer are not just concepts. They are lifelines. They are the forces that pull you out of the darkest valleys and guide you toward the mountaintops of victory. When everything seems uncertain, when the storms rage around you, faith is your anchor, and prayer is your connection to the Creator who holds it all together. Together, they form an unbreakable partnership, a powerful combination that transforms lives, breaks chains, and moves mountains. Faith is the ability to trust in what you cannot see, to believe in promises not yet fulfilled, and to walk forward even when the path ahead seems unclear. It is not about the absence of doubt or fear, but the decision to move forward despite them. Faith says, I may not understand how, but I know who. It reminds you that your strength does not come from your circumstances, but from the one who controls them. Faith whispers, keep going, when everything inside you says, give up. It is the quiet courage that fuels your perseverance, the unshakable confidence that God is working all things for your good, even when you can't see it yet. Prayer is the language of faith. It is how you bring your heart, your needs, and your hopes before the throne of grace. Prayer is not just a ritual or a habit. It is a lifeline, a direct conversation with the Creator of the universe. When you pray, you are not just speaking words into the air. You are inviting the divine into your circumstances. You are calling on the power of the one who spoke the stars into existence to intervene in your life. Prayer is not about perfect words or eloquence. It is about honesty and surrender. It's saying, Lord, I can't do this on my own, but I trust that you can. Faith and prayer are most powerful in partnership. Faith without prayer becomes stagnant, and prayer without faith loses its power. When you pray with faith, you are not just asking for change. You are declaring that change is already on its way. You are aligning your spirit with God's promises and stepping into the flow of His plan for your life. Mark 11, verse 24 reminds us, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. This is the essence of faith-filled prayer, believing before you see, trusting before you understand, and thanking God in advance for what He is about to do. The power of faith and prayer is not limited to changing circumstances. It also transforms you. When you pray with faith, your perspective shifts. Instead of focusing on what you lack, you begin to see the blessings already surrounding you. Instead of being consumed by fear, you find peace that surpasses understanding. Prayer aligns your heart with God's will, giving you clarity and purpose. It reminds you that you are never alone, that even in your darkest moments, the Creator of the universe is by your side, fighting your battles and guiding your steps. Prayer is not just a defense, it's an offensive weapon. When you pray, you are declaring war on fear, doubt, and despair. You are pushing back the darkness and inviting light to flood your life. The enemy trembles when a person of faith drops to their knees in prayer because he knows that prayer unlocks divine power. It is through prayer that chains are broken, doors are opened, and miracles are unleashed. When you pray, you are not just speaking to God, you are releasing His power into your life. But faith and prayer also require persistence. There will be times when you pray and it feels like nothing is happening. The temptation to give up will be strong. But this is where faith steps in. Faith says, even when I don't see it, God is working. Even when I don't feel it, He is moving. Persistent prayer is a demonstration of faith. It is saying, I trust you, God, even in the waiting. Luke 18, verse 1 reminds us to always pray and not give up. Prayer is not a one-time act. It is a lifestyle, a constant connection to the source of all strength. One of the greatest things about faith and prayer is that they are not dependent on you being perfect. You don't have to have it all together to come before God. He meets you where you are, in your mess, your doubts, in your struggles. All he asks is that you come with an open heart. Faith does not demand that you never doubt. It simply asks that you keep believing. Prayer does not require you to have all the answers. It invites you to seek the one who does. Faith and prayer remind you of who you are and whose you are. They ground you in the truth that you are loved, chosen, and created for a purpose. They give you the courage to face your battles, the strength to persevere, and the peace to rest in the midst of uncertainty. When life feels overwhelming, remember this: faith is your shield, and prayer is your weapon. Together, they make you unstoppable. Today, choose to lean into faith and prayer. Let faith silence your fears and prayer amplify your hope. Take your struggles, your dreams, and your uncertainties to God, trusting that He is able to do immeasurably more than you could ever ask or imagine. The power of faith and prayer is not just in what they can change around you, but in how they transform you from the inside out. You are not alone, and you are not powerless. With faith and prayer, you are equipped to face anything and overcome everything. The victory is already yours. Claim it with confidence. Your life is a message, a story that carries the power to inspire, heal, and transform. Every battle you've faced, every victory you've achieved, and every lesson you've learned holds the potential to impact others in ways you may not yet realize. But the question is, are you living your message boldly? And are you sharing it freely? Today, I invite you to step into the fullness of your purpose, not just as someone who has received transformation, but as someone who carries the power to ignite change in the lives of others. Living the message begins with authenticity. It's about embracing your journey, including the messy parts, and understanding that your story has value, not despite the challenges, but because of them. Your scars are not weaknesses. They are evidence of resilience. They show that you face the fire and come out stronger. People aren't inspired by perfection. They're inspired by perseverance. When you live authentically, you give others permission to embrace their own imperfections and find strength in their struggles. Living the message also means walking in alignment with the truth you've discovered. It's not enough to hear words of encouragement or read promises of hope. You must embody them. When you live as someone who knows they are loved, chosen, and called for a purpose, it changes the way you show up in the world. You begin to carry yourself with confidence, not because life is always easy, but because you trust in the one who guides you. You become a living example of what faith, perseverance, and courage look like in action. But living the message is only the beginning. To truly fulfill your purpose, you must also share it. Sharing your story is not about drawing attention to yourself. It's about pointing others toward the hope and strength you found. It's about being a light in someone else's darkness, a reminder that they are not alone. The world is filled with people searching for meaning, struggling to find their way. Your story could be the map that guides them to hope. Sharing the message doesn't require a stage or a spotlight. It starts in the everyday moments of life. It's in the way you encourage a friend who's feeling lost, the kindness you show to a stranger, or the vulnerability you offer in an honest conversation. Every interaction is an opportunity to plant seeds of hope, and you never know how those seeds might grow. Sometimes, the smallest act of sharing can create the biggest ripple. To share your message effectively, you must overcome the fear of rejection or inadequacy. The enemy often tries to silence you by convincing you that your story isn't worth sharing, that you don't have the right words, or that no one will listen. But those are lies. Your story matters because it is uniquely yours, and there are people who need to hear it exactly as it is. Remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about being real. Authenticity is what connects people, and vulnerability is what breaks down walls. As you share your message, remember the power of community. You are not meant to carry your story alone. Surround yourself with others who uplift, encourage, and challenge you to grow. Community amplifies the impact of your message, creating a network of hope and strength that extends far beyond what you could achieve on your own. Together, you can create a ripple effect that touches lives in ways you may never fully see. Sharing your message is not just about speaking. It's about living in a way that reflects the truths you've discovered. It's about being a consistent source of light. Even when the world feels dark, people will be drawn to your authenticity, your courage, and your peace. They will want to know the source of your strength. And that opens the door to share the transformative power of faith and hope. When you share your message, you step into the role of a difference maker. You become someone who turns pain into purpose, struggles into strength, and challenges into change. Your life becomes a testament to the truth that no battle is wasted, and no story is too broken to be redeemed. You remind others that even in their darkest moments, there is hope, and there is a way forward. Finally, sharing your message is not just about others, it's about you, too. As you give encouragement, you will find your own strength renewed. As you share hope, your own faith will deepen. The act of sharing reinforces the truth of your story and reminds you of the journey you've traveled. It keeps you grounded in gratitude and aligned with your purpose. Today, choose to live and share your message boldly. Let your life be a beacon of hope, a reflection of faith, and a testimony of transformation. You don't need to have it all figured out to make an impact. You just need to show up with a willing heart and an open spirit. Someone out there is waiting to hear what only you can say, to see the light that only you can shine. You were not meant to keep your story hidden. You were meant to let it illuminate the path for others. So, step forward with courage, share with authenticity, and trust that your message will reach exactly who it's meant to. The world needs your story. Your life is the proof that hope is real, that strength is possible, and that faith can move mountains. Share it, live it, be it. The impact you make will be greater than you could ever imagine.